Hello, it's Amy, and I teach artists how to gain collectors online. Tonight, we are going to be painting some daisies. So I'm just coming on a little bit early to make sure I got my stream set up okay. So when you pop on, just go ahead and say hello. I know I'm a little bit early, but that's okay. Trying out StreamYard, just making sure I got everything correct here. If you want to say something and comment and you can't, you just have to allow StreamYard to let you comment. That's all. Just got to find my water, get my coffee, and then we are going to get ready. So cheers to you, creative people, and welcome. Okay, where's my water? I'm on live now. I'm on live now. So hello. Say hi when you come on. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you are new or if you've seen me before. We are going to paint some daisies tonight, some spring daisies. If you have, if you saw the event that I posted yesterday and on Amy Parker Art on Facebook, then you can then you've seen the photo of what we're doing. If not, then just trust me, it is going to be super cute. We're going to do a gray background with 3 daisies and some pretty leaves and some vines. So tonight we are just using, I'm pretty sure these are the brushes that I'm going to be using. This is what I grabbed anyway. Like I said, I did this painting a while back, and I'm just trying to remember what I use for brushes. So I have a detailed brush here. I have a script liner brush, which is basically just like a detail brush, but it is a lot longer, like has a longer bristle on it. This one is a bristle brush that I'm going to be using for the middle of the flowers. And this one is just a small bristle brush. I also love my round brushes, so we will be using a round brush. We're going to be using a 3/4 inch flat brush. This one has an angle on it, and I really love the angle. That's totally up to you. You guys can use whatever you want. I'm just showing you what I've got here. This is actually a 1/2 inch, or maybe it's an inch. It's an inch. Yeah, and 1 inch flat that we have. Although you could use a larger, let me see, is that, yeah, it's a 1 inch. I have a bunch of these 2-inch flats too. You can use a 2-inch flat also if you want to get the background. Either way, it doesn't matter. Actually, this one would probably cover a lot faster. So maybe I'll use that. So basically, you guys can use whatever the heck you want for brushes. I'm just showing you what I have. You can also modify this painting to make it however you would like. So cheers. Now for colors, I'm using acrylic paints, and I was just taking a sip of my coffee there. So I'm using acrylic paints. I'm going to be using some browns. I've got a burnt umber and like a nutmeg color brown. These are just apple barrel inexpensive craft paints that you can get at Walmart. I have a bright yellow, a green. This one says Christmas green. I'm using black and white also. And I love this stuff. I got to write myself a note right now because I need to order some more of this folk art floating medium. It is just clear, and I like to use this with my paints to make them flow smoothly on, excuse me, on my canvas or my multimedia paper, whatever I'm using. So, okay, note to self, gotta order floating medium I also need to get a mouse for my computer. I don't know about you guys, but do you use like the mouse pad on your laptop, or do you guys have like a mouse that you use? I can't believe I have not gotten a mouse by now, because I am also the founder of Creative Warriors. I do all kinds of stuff on the computer for you guys, business stuff, and try and help you gain collectors. So I'm always on the computer. Hello, Marcy. Thanks for saying hi, honey. At least I know things are working good. Let me know if you can see and hear me all right. But I have literally worked on this laptop over here to my left for about, I don't know, 3.5 years with no mouse. So I got to get a mouse. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff I need, like a whole bunch of paints and whatever, but we will start with that. Marcy, I'm just going through the list on what we're using for brushes and what we're using for you, where you can come, join in the fun, hang out. Right now, I'm just crawling underneath my art table, trying to pull out my bin full of crafts to get that out of my way so I have a place for my feet, and we can get started soon. So hello, Kim. I'm sure you are with Marcy. Hello to both you ladies. And let me know, Marcy and Kim, how your day was today. Of course, if anybody else pops on, I would love to know how your day went also. And let me know. Let me know if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay, and all that fun stuff, because I want to make darn sure that you're going to be able to see to do this painting with me. And I want to make sure that you can actually hear me. Oh, because I have two devices going on right now. And and I'm trying to find my live on my business page. Hold on. Why is that not showing? Maybe I just had to hit this. Oh, tech difficulty. That's why I came on a little early. Sometimes we have to foresee these little tech things and prepare for those. Okay, awesome. So now I can see, and dang, let me go back to my stream. It looks a little bit fuzzy. Hopefully you can see okay. All right. So let's start off by painting this. I'm using a size 11 by 14 multimedia paper, but you most certainly can use a canvas, bigger or smaller, or the multimedia paper. It doesn't matter. Multimedia paper you can use with acrylics, or, well, this type you can use with acrylics or with oils, but I'm an acrylic painter, so I'm going to use my acrylics. All I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a gray color. So just grab some white. And if you have gray already with your craft paints, that's fine. If not, then just mix up some gray with some white and a little bit of black. Actually, I'm going to put my black over here, and then I'll mix it in there with another brush. That's how I like to roll, people. That's how I like to roll. So I hope you had a wonderful day. I got to see a friend today that I haven't seen in a long time. So that was super exciting and really nice. It was awesome. So Melissa, if you happen to watch this, thanks for coming over. It was a good time. All right, so I'm just putting a little bit of black into white. We don't want to put white into black, because then we will be mixing forever and ever and ever. So that's all I'm doing, is just mixing up a little bit of gray, and then I'm just going to put this all over the canvas, right? So I was just kind of getting some of the paint off that brush, because I'm going to use my larger flat brush to get the background down. If you guys want to grab a blow dryer, be my guest, go get a blow dryer. If you want to speed up your drying time as we paint tonight, actually, I don't have mine next to me, but that's okay. I'm going to try and roll without one. If I need it, I'll go grab it. But I hate doing that while I'm on live with you guys, because I know it gets a little bit annoying to hear the blow dryer. So we'll try and go without it. So the key is, so that you don't have to dry as much, try and not make the paint really watery. Just kind of don't dip your brush too much. In that way, you won't need to blow dry. Okay, so literally, you guys, I'm just taking that flat brush. I'm using a 2-inch flat. If you have a 1-inch, that's fine. Just any flat brush will do. And I'm just folding back and forth like this, the paint on. So just my motion like this, back and forth, laying it on different ways. It does not have to be perfect. There's no really right or wrong with this, just getting that background color on. If you want to go this way, all the way down, you can do that. If you want to go, horizontal, vertical or horizontal, it doesn't matter. You go ahead and wipe that paint on any way that you would like. We'll just get that gray background down. This is really a cute little painting, a nice little springy painting with the daisies. I have been really busy working online for you guys. I didn't pre-paint anything for the next couple of weeks. So what I did was I just went back through some of my paintings that I have sold to my collectors. And this daisy one was a nice little cute painting that I did. And I did sell 3 pieces of that. So I know people like it. So you most certainly, I'm sure will like it also if you like flowers. Find it interesting and fun. Could give it away to a friend or hang it in your house or whatever you would like to do, or try and sell it. And let me know if you do, because I'm all about you trying to have fun with your business. Okay, let me see, get that cord out of the way. All right, so let me know when you are done with that part, and we are going to start putting on our, well, wait a second here. I'm just looking at my reference photo to try and figure out what I want you guys to do first. I think first we are going to just start on the base of the flowers. That's what we're going to do. Marcy, you're done. Yay. Woo-hoo. You are getting good, girl. Super fast. All right, so wash that brush, rinse it off, then grab your round brush, okay? Dip that in the water, get that ready, and we are going to mix up a light green. So we're going to do a light green. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my dark green. If you have light green, that's great. If you buy a bunch of different little craft paints, you can also get them in the tiny bottles, right? You don't have to get these big ones. I have like the smaller ones. Let me see if I can reach one. You can get them this size or the larger size. But anyway, if you have a light green, great, go for that. If you don't, then I'm going to show you right now how to mix it up. So I've got green. This is an old palette I was using. I usually save them and just keep reusing and reusing these styrofoam dinner plates as much as possible. All right, I'm going to put a dab of yellow on here too. And then what I was going to say about the palettes is as they dry, I just try and put my colors close to the same as I already had them on here so I don't kind of mix myself up here. All right, so we want to get a light green. I'm going to dip in my white and then just mix up a little bit and see how I like that. I think I want to put a dab of yellow. I'm glad I put yellow on there because I want to get sort of like a little yellow tone in that light green. So I just put a little white, some yellow, and I'm going to need more. I know I am. So I'm going to mix up another blob of that. Just those same colors, white, yellow, and green. Mix that all together. And then, believe it or not, we are going to do like an underpainting of the petals of our flowers first, okay? So we are going to have, oh, wait a second. My multimedia paper seems to be lifting a little bit there. So I just want to pull that down. There we go. I do love this stuff though, because it doesn't take up a whole bunch of room in the studio. But, you know, we just painted the whole background. So if you're using multimedia paper, some of them come on the binders, which is great. And I wanted that type, but I opted for this one instead, this Canson one, because the paper is much thicker and it really mimics having a canvas because it's got a really nice texture. But what I'm trying to say is I have to peel those pieces off and then tape them down onto my cardboard to paint. So once I did the whole background, sometimes they like buckle maybe a tiny bit is what I'm trying to say. But that's okay. All right. Let me just check over here. Hello, Lisa Marie. Thanks for joining us. You're cooking dinner and listening. You are awesome. That's great. Hey, you guys, paint the love for me. You know what that means? Paint the love, SHARE would be great. Or invite, bring somebody in here if they do like painting and they might want to paint along or just hang out with me and you while we paint. All right. So we're going to have 3 flowers in here. We're going to do, excuse me, 3 daisies. So I'm just using that round brush and that green. And all I'm going to do is touch down and then pull up. So touch down, pull up, and kind of slide. I'm just going around. I know this is kind of an odd color, but it's going to look good. All right, so that's all I did was just go around in like a circle, like where your petals are going to be. You can put these anywhere you want on your canvas. It does not have to be in the same exact spots that I put my flowers. Doesn't matter. You most certainly can do the same exact thing, but if you feel like, hey, I want to put mine somewhere else, then you go ahead and do that. So we're just doing like a little bit of an underpainting here with some green, some light green, and we are going to be putting white petals over and around here. But this way we can get kind of like a base of where our flowers are going to be. Now I'm just going to rinse off the round brush because we are going to switch brushes for a second and we are going to get our leaves down, and then we will do our flowers. All right, so we're going to use that dark green. All right, so put a dark green on your palette if you don't have a dark green yet to get one on there. Tiny bit blurry, not sure why, waiting to see if it clears up. Yeah, thank you so much for saying that. I'm gonna try something maybe with my lighting. Let me just kind of finagle a few things around and see, or maybe if I turn this a little bit. I'm not sure why either. I know that like you can see my hand is nice and focused now, but then when okay, well that might have fixed it. Maybe I just have to try and adjust the lens here once in a while. Okay, good. Thanks for mentioning that. Marcy says the iPad's blurry, but the cell is good. Hopefully you guys is both good now. On my screens, it's looking good. Much better. Okay, awesome. All right, so basically that looks like little green stars, kind of. If you're just popping on and you missed it, what we did was we used the round brush to get just like this underpainting of where our petals are going to go for our flowers. And hello, if you're popping on, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, and I'm glad to have you. So we are going to have fun doing some painting tonight. We are going to paint some daisies. But right now, I am going to use my 1-inch brush. We're going to grab the 1-inch flat, And we are going to use the green and the white. Okay, this is a little bit of one stroke going on here. I want you to dip half of your brush into the green and then half into the white so that it looks like this. So you have a green on one side, a white on another side. Push that right down into your brush like that. This is a 1-inch flat that I'm using. And you want to just fill it up really good with paint. Let me go back and check, see if we're blurry again. No. Oh, goodness. We are doing good so far. Marcy says, now the iPad is good as well. I think when you place your hand there, it made it come in better. Yeah, I think so too. So hopefully I will remember that little tidbit so we can continue to see, because that's pretty important. All right, so you guys see what I did? So I have a white on one side, a green on the other side. We are going to place this down on our canvas, and we're going to just kind of wiggle back and forth as we turn, pull up to the chiseled edge like that. If you're like, hello, what'd you just do? I will show you again. I'm going to have the white on the inside, okay? I'm going to hold the brush at an angle, touch down. I'm going to wiggle, turn as I'm wiggling, lift up, and like slide a little bit on the tip there. So I want to you guys let me know if that is easy or if you are stumped or what, because I want you to get that cool little kind of look there with the lighter in the middle. So I'm going to dip in white again, dip in my green. I'm using my flat brush. Have a place on your palette where you can push that right in there. Push that paint right in there. White and green, white and green. Then we're going to pick another spot to put a leaf. You want the green on the outside and the white in the middle. All right, so we are just going to wiggle that back and forth. You can make your leaves as big or as little as you want. They're your leaves. Oopsie, that one I need a little more paint because I kind of ran out there. So I'm going to dip both sides in, press it back and forth on my palette. Then where I didn't really mess up, but didn't have enough to finish, after I loaded my brush, I'm just going to pick up right where I was and just kind of pull that. And if it looks a little weird, you can go over the whole thing like this. Watch, you can just go over the whole thing once again and make that leaf. Aren't those pretty? Loading the two different colors onto your brush is a pretty awesome thing because it, Lisa says, love this technique. Awesome. Good. I'm glad, Lisa. Yeah, so we're just getting some leaves on here. And let me get back to my reference. We're going to, you can put yours wherever, but I'm going to kind of go by my reference photo that I showed you guys today. So we're going to put another one here and then a couple over here for these flowers. All right. So you can dip in water too, but if you guys have the flowing medium, I would use that when you need to wet your brush, especially with this technique. So I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of that medium on my brush. I'm going to grab some more green on one side of my brush, grab some more white on the other side, push my brush down back and forth onto my palette. And we're going to put another leaf here. So really close to where like the flower is. And remember, we want to keep the lighter color inside and the darker color on the outside. And we're just wiggling and dragging, moving things around. You guys will kind of get used to it and find your own little style on how you like to do this. Okay, I'm running out of color, so I need to load back up with my dark green. I'm going to put a little bit more white on here. If you are just joining me, I am Amy from Amy Parker Art and founder of Creative Warriors. Tonight is our paint night, and just having fun with you all and walking you through step by step how to paint some pretty daisies. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we were still focused. It looks like we've been good, right, you guys? It has not been out of focus yet. You can still see the painting and you can hear me. Is that correct? Just want to make sure. All right. So now that I loaded up, I almost dripped this all over my canvas. All right, now that we loaded back up, I'm going to make another big leaf here and then another one up here. So you just look at your painting, your canvas, and you figure out where the best place is to put yours. And go ahead and get your leaves on there. Tell me what the greatest thing was that happened to you today. I know you're always like, I'm busy painting. That's okay. If you're busy painting, I understand. If you have time to let me know, then let me know. I was super excited to have a visit from a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time. So that was my awesome thing for the day. And I guess the other great thing was I didn't really do any housework. So that was pretty awesome. It's nice to take a day off from that. All right. So we got our leaves on there. Okay. I probably would put another one over here and maybe one here, but I'm going to go with the photo that I showed you guys. And that entails some more leaves, but they're going to be smaller. So go ahead and when you're done with these bigger leaves, rinse off that 1-inch flat brush, get that cleaned up. And then we are going to use, let me see, we are going to use a, well, I know I probably didn't tell you in the supplies, but I'm going to use a smaller flat. So this one is like a three, hello, brain cramp, 3/4. 3/4. Or maybe I have a half. Do I have a half? We could use a half or a 3/4. It doesn't really matter. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to use the half. I'm always changing my mind. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch. But there's no right or wrong, you guys. Just use a flat brush. It doesn't matter. You can use anything. You don't have the same ones. That's okay. To move that paper towel, get another one. And then I'm going to use the 1/2 inch. Looks great. It's perfect. Oh, thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so now we are going to load up some dark green on one side and then some lighter green on the other side. You probably still have some of that light green mixed up. If not, mix up a little light green. We're going to do light green one side and then push it onto our brush, okay? And then instead of wiggling like back and forth like we did with these, we are just going to push down, do a half turn, slide, and lift up. Push down, do a half turn, slide, and lift up. Push down, half turn, slide, and lift up. Doesn't matter what side your color is on here because we're not going back and forth like the big leaves. So you can turn your brush different ways. That's fine. Push down, half turn, slide, lift up. And I got to load up some more. Let me know how that's working out for you. You guys getting that? So I need to mix up a little bit more light green. So the light green we're using once again is a little bit of yellow, a bit of white, and some green. Mix that together. And that's the light green color that we're using. I just mixed mine up with a smaller brush. You can use a palette knife if you want, or just, mix it with a brush like I did. Right now I'm going to grab my 1/2" brush again, dip one side into the light green, one side into the dark green, and then push down on my palette to get that all the way in there. Well, it looks like we're not fuzzy anymore still, so I got my fingers crossed. Hopefully that is good for you ladies. All right, so we got a couple leaves, smaller leaves here, a few here. We're going to put a couple up here and a few more up here. All right, you can put them wherever you would like. So remember, touch down, half turn, slide, lift up. And put those smaller leaves wherever you would like. Remember to have enough paint on your brush because it does take a lot of paint. So we want to make sure that it slides easy with our color. Push down, turn, slide, lift up. Just like that. All right. So, if you want more, you can definitely put more. I'm using the same brush now. I just kind of wiped it on the side to make my chiseled edge more chiselly, I guess. And I'm picking up a little more color, dark and light, but I don't want to push it into too much. I kind of want it like right on the edge of my brush. And then watch what we are going to do. We are going to make little stems from wherever you want to put them right into your leaves using that straight on the canvas. Hold it like straight on the canvas and slide that and get those stems right on there and pull them right into your leaves. I hope you are doing well with this. I hope you are having fun. And so far, so good, especially if you're not saying anything. I know you're working hard. It's hard to paint and talk, I know. So I'm still going to be working on my stems here. I'm just dipping in my dark green, dipping in my light green, and then I'm just pushing slightly. I'm not pushing it way down in. I want it to stay, the paint to stay on the tip of my brush. And we are going to put some more leaves on. I'm sorry, we're going to put some more stems into our leaves. So push down, slide. And the reason I have two colors is because it just gives a nice look to it. You can see like two different tones of greens through your your stems. So that's all we did, right? We just got those stems on there. And now, well, let me know if you're done. You tell me when you're done, and then we're going to move on to the next step. So you go ahead. Leaves are challenging. Yes. Okay, so which leaves are the hardest for you, Marcy? Are they both difficult, or just the big ones, or just the small ones? Let me know. Let me know. And I'll try and give you like a closer view if you need. But let me know if it's the larger ones or smaller, or both. The big ones. Okay. Let me load up my brush again, and I'm going to, oh, actually, this is the wrong one. I will just actually show you on my notebook. Probably ruin this, but that's okay. Let me just show you on my notebook. So I kind of have my paint jacked up here on this brush, but I'm going to pretend that it's not. So I've got two colors. All right. So my lighter color I want to have in. I'm holding my brush, not straight on. I'm holding it at an angle, but not really down low like that. I'm holding it at an angle. So I'm pressing down. I'm wiggling like this, like little strokes back and forth. And the faster that you go, the easier it will be, believe it or not. So you touch down, wiggle, turn, and pull. I'll show you one more time, kind of close. And you know, Marcy, you can go back and you can pause and paint, right, if you need to. Let me show you again. So we're going to touch down, wiggle, turn, like that. Touch down. Good, Marcy. She said she's practicing on a piece of paper before she puts it on her canvas. See that? That's good, Marcy. Yeah, you got to push yourself. Push yourself out of that, you know, out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? You can do it. I know you can do it. And yes, practice on the paper. That's perfect. And then when you feel comfortable, go ahead and go towards, you know, put it on your canvas after. Make sure that we are still clear here. That's better. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad that you got to see that. Like I said, you can go back to if you want. You know, you can do it a more simplified way. If you don't want to do the wiggle, you don't have to do the wiggle. You can even do the big leaves, just like we did the small leaves without wiggling. Okay, so don't ruin your masterpiece. That's right, Marcy. So you could even do your big leaves like this too. You could touch down and just turn around a half circle and drag, then flip your brush, touch down, turn around a half circle, drag. So you could do your leaves like that. They don't have to be the wiggly ones either way. You know, either way. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus. When I put my hand here, we seem to focus a little bit better. Okay. These are gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Lisa Marie. That is really sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. I don't want you to screw up your masterpiece either, Marcy. Hey, that's how we make masterpieces. We practice. All right. Now, remember, you can always go back. I'm going to leave the recording right here for you. If you got to come back, that's fine. I am going to rinse off that 1/2 inch brush and dab that on my paper towel. We're going to use the same brush. We are then going to put a tiny bit of brown. I'm going to use a light brown. nutmeg brown, or maybe it's a cinnamon or something. I don't know. I'm going to put a little bit of brown here on my palette. This is where water or medium is going to come in handy. I'm going to use my floating medium. We want this to be really thin, okay? So we're going to put half green like we did before, and then we're going to put half brown, all right? Half green, half brown on each side of the brush. And then we're going to push that down into your brush. And I just got green all over my hand, but that's nothing new. Just keep loading it up. You might have to put it on a couple of times like I'm doing, then push it down into there. Pick up a little medium so that it's pretty thin, because we want these a little bit see-through. We are going to do these the same way we did these leaves, okay? So we're just going to make more of like a little translucent kind of leaf. We're just going to put a couple here and there throughout the painting. Just touch down in different places. Like I said, when you're only doing one leaf with, if you're not doing two sides, you can switch back and forth on what way you're holding your brush. So I'm going to dip again in my light brown. I'm going to dip into my dark green. I'm going to push that right into my brush. I'm going to pick up a tiny bit of medium, push that in there, and we're going to do this again. Let me see. I'm going to, okay. Sorry, I just had to check something. Okay, so wherever you see on your painting that you think another, pretty little sort of translucent kind of leaf, if there is even such a thing, which there probably isn't unless they actually have superpowers, but we're pretending that they're on this painting. Just touching down and sliding and pulling with our half-inch flat. Okay, now I need to make sure that I have that paint right on the tip of my brush, or this will happen right here and I won't be able to complete it. So if you need to load back up, load up, dab a little bit of medium on the end of your brush, and you can go right over. Like I said, if you make a mistake, great thing about acrylics, we can just touch down and go right over them. Okay? Now I'm going to leave the same paint on my brush, and I'm just going to pull down, and I'm going to just put a few little stems in here. Just pulling down to give the illusion of some stems there. Okay. I don't know if I actually made my flowers. Well, actually, I'm going to put a few leaves in here too. Duh. That's what I was going to do because we don't want to leave that open. So I'm going to use those lighter colors with the brown on one side of the brush, the green on the other side. I'm pushing down, back and forth, touching in the medium. And then I'm going to put a few little leaves right in here. And then I'm just putting those little pieces of illusion of a stem in there. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you are good, if you are keeping up, if you are falling behind, or if you are just watching and you're going to paint later. Just let me know what's going on and if you are having a good time. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, we are painting. I paint every Tuesday night with you. right here on Amy Parker Art. And hello if you're watching on YouTube. Hello if you're watching on Facebook. And I forgot, you guys, I got to make one more stem right there. So I'm just going to load up that color just to put one little stem that I missed here. Now, if you remember, we did the stems the opposite way on these green leaves. We went down and then up into the stem. You can do it either way, or you can, you know, because I did the opposite on the brownish green ones, but either way you want to go. Lisa Marie says, making dinner and watching the magic. Oh, thanks, sweetie. That's good. I'm glad I can do a magic trick for you. Marcy, I will continue after you're finished. Okay. She is still practicing. Haha. That's okay. Good, Marcy. That's great. You are going to get it. It takes a little practice, you know, if we get stumped, just go back and watch the recording after and do your pause and paint and take it one step at a time. And yes, do what Marcy's doing. If you feel like you're going to have trouble on something, then just, you know, paint on a piece of paper or cardboard or whatever. I mean, I have my notebook here I was showing you guys, and just practice before you put it onto your multimedia paper or your canvas or whatever you're going to use for your finished painting. All right. Now we are going to do some, oh, let me see. We're going to do that. I'm trying to dissect my example photo. Give me a moment. Okay, we have to actually put the stems into our large leaves. So I'm just putting some straight green on a flat brush. I'm going to dip in my medium a little bit because I want that to flow. Just some straight green onto a flat brush. And I'm just turning and kind of turning it whatever way it needs to go, right down the center of these leaves here. So there we go. Now we have a stem, and you can differentiate each side of the leaf that way. Okie dokie. Now, this is the fun part. Well, it's all fun, but we're going to take our round brush. I got to turn my paper towel around. Getting a little dirty here with paint. All right, so we are going to wet our round brush, tap that on the paper towel. So we've got our round brush. Now we are going to start putting the petals onto our flowers. Okay, hopefully I've got enough. My white seems to be kind of running into my black here, so we got a little issue with that. Let me go ahead and get some more white on here. You guys can make your flowers any darn color you want, but I'm going to do some white daisies. All right, so I'm going to touch down with my round brush, turn and lift up, touch down, turn and lift up. So we're going on the outside of the flowers. And I know we got some green going on in here because I wanted to kind of outline where these flowers would be. So it's okay to, like I'm painting right over some of the leaves. And I'm making these petals larger than the green example that I kind of got my base started with. So I'm just dipping into my white, touching down, turning, and lifting up. And you can put as many of those petals in there as you want. But they're pretty, aren't they? Super pretty. Super pretty. So don't be afraid to go right over some of the leaves in spots. That's why we pre-painted our leaves on. And I will check to see what you're saying in a moment. I'm just trying to concentrate to get these on for you to show you what those will look like. So if my brush gets too like thick full of paint in the middle, I just wipe it off on the side like that, twirl it back around because we want the paint kind of on the end of our brush. And we're just touching down, dragging and pulling up to make these petals. Touch down, drag and pull up with our white. You most certainly could make like black-eyed Susans, which they look beautiful too. You can use the same technique for that, where you would make like a deep yellow color with the brown in the middle. We're still going to put brown and yellow in the middle of these, and it's going to look so cool. Touch down, drag and pull up. Do, 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 do. And we painted the background a light gray so that our beautiful white flowers would show up on our multimedia paper or your canvas, whatever you are using. Whatever you are using. See how I painted right over that? Like, look, if you don't like something, just paint right over it. It's your painting. You go crazy. But I do like how there's like some leaves showing there, so I'm going to leave that. But, you know, the white is obviously white, so you're going to be able to see through it a little bit more. If you want to go over a few spots and paint right over that to thicken it up after it dries, go ahead and do that. If you want your petals to look a little, you know, thicker, then go for it. That is totally fine. I'm just going to bring my white kind of right in the middle there. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. Okay, let me take a look-see. See if you're talking to me. I got to switch screens for a second. Marcy says, I love it, Amy. Oh, I love you, Marcy. You are so awesome. And I'm glad that you're loving it. That's good. You're going to get this, girl. You're going to get it. It's really a fun technique. I like a challenge, so I will get it eventually. Yes, that's a girl. You need to have that attitude and you will do it. You will definitely be able to do it for sure. And if you guys get frustrated, do what Marcy did. Take a break, step away, or just watch and learn and then go back and do step by step. You don't have to do every single thing, and everything does not have to come out perfect the first time. Literally, I mean, it's a process, right? And we cannot compare ourselves to other people. I mean, you guys, I've been painting since I was a baby, all right? So, I'm not the best painter in the world. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but we can't compare ourselves to other people. So if you're like, dang, I can't get that, don't worry. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. I mean, maybe you're a better painter than me, and that's great. You could teach me a thing or two, which would be wonderful. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm dipping in my white, then I'm dipping in my yellow because I want like a beautiful, like bright yellow on the end of my bristle brush. And then I'm just going to tap in the middle of my flowers. So getting a little white in my yellow. My bristle brush, holding it straight on, tapping around in a circle in the middle of my flowers. These, once again, you could go back and thicken these up a little bit more when they dry. It's up to you. Or here's a little tidbit. Sometimes, you know, I use my regular craft paints, but then I'll go back through and I will use like my tube paints, which are thicker in some spots. Like that's what I would do with the middle of these too, if you want to add a little special touch to it. All right, so now I'm just going to rinse that off. And I'm going to load up some darker brown. Wait, do I want to use, give me a second. I want to figure out if I want to use my dark brown with this. Actually, yeah, this will look kind of cool. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't come out good, then, you know, hey, I can fix it. That's what painting's all about, right? We can go back and fix it. All right, I'm just putting a little blob of burnt umber on here. So now I'm just going to rinse off that bristle brush. And I'm going to pick up some of that burnt umber on my bristle brush. And I'm going to go on one side of just kind of tapping around in a circle, not a circle, sort of like a half circle. Tapping around in a half circle. Oops, there was water dripping down my brush. I didn't want to get that spattered on there. Just at the base of, you know, the inside of the flower there. I'll make that like stand out. Okay, now for another fun part, we are going to use a script liner brush. If you don't have a script liner, it's basically just a detail brush with a really long end on it. You can just use a regular detail brush if you want, although the script liner is really going to give you a nice little twirl motion here. I am going to grab some light brown and some dark brown together. I think that'll look cool. So I'm just mixing that up, light and brown, and dragging my script liner through it. And then all I'm doing is putting little twirls in here. The key to this is to really have it wet. I don't even really use my medium for this. I just kind of dip in my water and then get this pretty watery. And then hold your script liner straight up and do a quick little twirl around to get these pretty little like viney, twirly viney things. I don't know what I'm trying to say, just little twirly viney things going on. You guys can make them go any way that you want, but you gotta do this fast. If you're hesitant, you are going to make all kinds of like little lines that you are not going to like. So if you want it to look like it's really flowing, do not be scared. You need to just whip this out quickly, right? Just whip it out. And there's a little kind of mess up there, but whatever, I'll go over it with a leaf or something. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, but with a different color. Now we are going to use our darker green and a little bit of light. So I'm just dragging that script liner into my dark green and light green. So I like to have those different tones going on. I don't know if I have enough water on here. We'll see. I probably need a little bit more. We're just going to go around the painting. There's no right or wrong place to put this. Just look at your painting and decide, hey, where would it look cool to put some vines? Some little squigglies. And put them wherever your little heart desires. See what I'm doing? Paint it right over the petals or the other leaves, wherever you want. That's totally fine. You don't have to worry about, you know, stuff like that, because it's okay if you paint right over a piece of a leaf. It will look more natural that way. All right, so you can use the same script liner, or you can use just a detail brush for this next part. This is really is going to add a nice little touch. I'll show you what we're going to do here. I'm going to grab my detailed brush. So this one just is like the same width, you know, as far as the bristles, but they're shorter. And we're just going to put some little dots. I'm going to start with white. Put some little, pretty little like white dots in a few spots. It'll just kind of give it like a little sparkle. You actually really could put sparkle on this if you wanted with like glitter or something. But I'm just putting some, you know, some little like mystical kind of little look on here, or whimsical, or whatever you want to call it, with the end of the detailed brush. Picking up a little white to do that, just touching down some spots, touching down. And it looks good to go over, like put some on the gray, put some on the big leaves or the small leaves, wherever you want to put them. Layering like that will give it a cool look. And just kind of mix it up. Now we're going to do the same thing, but, oh, wait a second. I want to do a little bit of white, a couple white, I think, inside of here. A couple white dots, like inside my flower. Like right in the middle, the center of the flower. And then a little bit of yellow came out, and that's fine. That looks cool. That's totally fine. Now I'm going to grab a dark green. I'm going to grab my dark green with that detailed brush and really get a lot of water in there. Make it not like dripping, but you know, get some water in there. All right, so now it's just like during the winter, you guys, when we did like the snowmen and, you know, snow and stuff. And basically it's the same kind of technique that we're using right here. Is we're just touching down. We're putting some dots on here to give it a pretty little look. And you can most certainly put these wherever you would like. It's just like if we were painting a snow scene, right? Just kind of take a look around your painting and figure out, hey, where would that look cool? And then just put those in there. Now you could do this with the brown color that we used also, but I'm just going to kind of stick with these. I think that looks kind of good. Kind of good. Can I talk tonight? I don't know. It's hard to talk and paint sometimes. But you know, even if you wanted to put like a little glitter in here or something, that would look really nice. Oh, okay, one more thing we're going to do is I'm going to rinse off that color on my detailed brush, and I'm going to grab my dark brown. And I'm just going to put a few dots of dark brown kind of right around the center of my flower. And if my yellow was well, some of my yellow is working. I was going to say it might not be dry enough for you to see that, but I'm going to put a couple dots of brown right into my yellow, because I think that will just look kind of cool. Oh, it gives it a really cute, cool look. Nice, nice, nice. All right, and then you grab whatever color you want. I'm going to choose green to kind of make it blend nicely. Grab whatever color you want so you can sign your name. You can put your initials, or you can write out your whole name. You can write your first initial, then your last name, however you want to do it. 2021. Make sure you get that in there, okay? Because as you start painting like crazy, and when you start selling your paintings like I have done for years, and you start getting rid of pieces, or you know, you want to hold on to some pieces or whatever, you can see your progress. And take pictures of all your work, by the way, before you sell it, because if not, you will be bummed out that you can't see your progress. You want to keep an eye on your progress and see what you're doing along the way. But having that date on there is pretty awesome, because you know, your artwork will eventually just kind of move up in value as the years go on. That's how art works. So I'm just trying to give you a closer look. See how you like it. It did come out really pretty. And Marcy, you most certainly can go back and pause and paint. Same with Kim if she's painting. And I mean, I showed you guys so many different like techniques in here. You can just take out, you know, your paper and just practice doing those little, um, doing the lines with the script line or doing the little dots or, you know, whatever you need to practice or the petals. This would look beautiful with different colors in it if you wanted to paint purple or pink or whatever color you would like. Marcy says, very beautiful. Kim is painting awesome. Kim, how are you doing? Are you done since we're finished now? Or are you still kind of backed up and practicing? Is there anything I can help you with, Kim, if you are still painting? Is there anything I can go over before I peace out tonight? Because I want to make sure that I don't leave you hanging if you are in the middle of something, or if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Dorothy says, very pretty, Amy. Thank you, Dorothy. I appreciate that. Marcy's, oh, actually, I think Kim, you're probably on Marcy's phone talking, right? Cheers, by the way, you guys. Thank you for hanging out. You're a little behind. That's okay. Let me know if there's something I can help you with. Unless you want to just go back and pause and paint, that's okay. But if you need to see something, let me know. All right. Kim said I should say, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, I had such a good time tonight. And it was a fun little painting. I know you said, oops, new thing. And I'm kind of, you know, the leaves were a little difficult. Trust me, when you start loading up that paint on your flat brush, 2 different colors on each side, and then putting it down and just wiggling it back and forth like this and turning it and then pulling up, you're going to be amazed at what you can do. Super easy. You're going to get like the gist of it. You really will. Okay, you guys have any questions? I'm going to wait for just a few minutes. I know we have a delay in time, so I will see if you have anything to say. Sorry, my face is not on camera tonight. Once again, I did not get all decked out, and well, you know, sometimes I don't anyway. But I will show my face probably tomorrow while I'm hanging out with you guys. Please let me know if no, good. You're welcome. Marcy says, thanks again, Amy. It was fun. Or maybe that was Kim or both of you. Dorothy, thank you for watching, honey. Lisa Marie, all of you. I appreciate you hanging out. Please tell your friends. Oh, thank you, Marcy. You have a great night, too. Tell your friends, your family, anybody that's, you know, artsy crafty or would like to paint with us. We do this every single Tuesday night. We do a different painting at 7 p.m. It was you. Okay, Marcy. 7 p.m. EST right here on Amy Parker Art. Remember, you can go to my website anytime, amyparkerart.com. Check out what goodies I have on there for you, or just inbox me, message me, whatever you guys want to do. Okay. Mwah. Kiss to you from me, and I will catch you again soon. Bye, you guys. Hope you have a wonderful night.